J Drone here, and J Drone there. I'm going to be reviewing the Syma, the altitude hold one, and I have my pad on this, courtesy of the Air Drone Wi-Fi. The mount just fits over any controller that has an antenna on it, so I'm able to see a lot better, as you can see. This is an altitude hold drone. Obviously it will shift left to right, forward and backwards just a little if there's any type of wind or if it's not trimmed out properly. This does have a pretty neat camera on it. It is only a 0.3 megapixel, so I'm not expecting anything awesome. If I do get something awesome, that's freaking great. But other than that, the camera actually is mounted to a slide-in mount that goes onto the bottom battery door compartment, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I've never seen that before, and we're gonna have to get a better camera than a 0.3 megapixel to test to see if that's a better way to mount the camera, because definitely no, I'm not gonna get any type of jello with this 0.3 megapixel camera. As you can see, don't have to control the throttle here, guys. Once it's at a certain altitude, it'll stay there. But I'd like to throw a high def camera, 720p, 1080p, something that's going to fit directly on this mount the way the 0.3 megapixel one is. I mean, even a 2.0 megapixel, I think I'd be happy with throwing that on it and seeing if it got jello or not. But we're going to go ahead and show you what this sees for a brief second here. I mean, we're up there. I'm not going to really test the range on this because I'm not sure what it'll do, but as you can see there, you can see a small town, and this is what it sees, the actual FPV, what was recorded. It's not great quality. I mean, again, I'm recording at the worst possible time during the day, is at sunset, because you have extremely bright sun and then you have darkness, and it's just not the best time. I'd say probably the best time to record is around 12 o'clock. I mean, if you've ever tried to take a picture of somebody with a very bright window behind them, it doesn't work out well, and that's kind of what you're dealing with a sunset. Same thing with a sunrise. If you're getting when the sun's just peaking and the sun's just going down, it's not great for recording. I mean, with a better camera, it probably wouldn't cause any type of issues, but with this low grade camera, as you saw, there's nothing to brag about there. I wouldn't even pull a still off of that and try to say, hey, look what I did with the Syma. No, not at all. But yeah, I mean, as far as a flyer, this is an excellent flyer. Excellent flyer. And you can't go wrong with this. If you like the Syma X5C, you're going to love this. If you know how to fly a quadcopter and you want the next step is altitude hold. And the reason I want altitude hold and I want to play with altitude hold is because I like taking video and I like taking pictures, and if you can get something trimmed out properly with very little wind up in the sky and it just sits there, you can pan. You can do a complete panoramic view and get a full 360 without it jumping up and down in altitude. And that's kind of where I'm at as far as my drone flying right now. I'm playing with altitude hold, and I'm also playing with smaller drones. I just got into the smaller drones and I'm really impressed with the Hubsan X4, as the camera on it's kind of HD and does not give off jello. But this definitely doesn't give off jello either, but that's because of how low megapixel it is. As you can see, we're up there. This has zero issues flying. And the color on it is kind of like an off lime green. You're really not going to lose it in the sky unless for some odd reason the sky turns green, but I don't think that's going to happen. Definitely if you're flying in tall grass and whatnot and you crash it, you might have a slight issue finding it, but I like it. I really do. On top of the propellers, you have little chrome nubs. I'm sure that's just for show, and that's another thing. You start getting into your trims and whatnot, where they're starting to decorate these a little bit better. You throw off a different color other than the white or the black, and that's nice. The legs on this are longer to compensate for the camera being underneath it. As you can see, I just buzzed by my head there. This is a fun flyer. I really would like to use it for taking video. because it's not a super large altitude hold. You guys seen that I have larger altitude holds. This is a normal sized drone with altitude hold, and I think if I can get a good camera on this, I'm going to be able to take some amazing stuff. And we're going to go ahead and go down the street here. Again, you can see my monitor there. This Aerodrone mount that came with the Wi-Fi Aerodrone is awesome. Fits on any controller with an antenna, and I can use my pad. I don't have to squint my eyes and try to look at a cell phone. Bam! I got a big pad on my controller, and I think that's so cool. One good reason to pick up that Aerodrone. I think it's a little bit overpriced. It is a very good flyer. The camera on it's a lot better than the camera on this, and you get this mount that's interchangeable with a lot of different drone controllers. We're going to go ahead and just cruise down the side of the street here. If you are an inexperienced flyer, do not do this. A little to the left, you're hitting cars if they're coming by. And again, you see the video quality here, it's not great. I'm dealing with extremely bright sun. I'll try this at like noon or 1 o'clock at some point, see if we get better quality, but you can see it's choppy. Even with those cars going by, it's really not smooth, it's kind of blurred. But again, it's what they advertise. They advertise 0.3 megapixel camera, so I'm not knocking the manufacturer whatsoever because that's as advertised. Basically what we are going to try to do, as I said, is put a HD camera on it and see if we can get better picture quality, get a camera that would generally get jello and throw it on this mount and see if the stability of this drone won't give it off. And again, you see it going light to dark, but it's because it's dark on the ground essentially, really bright in the sky. Horrible time to be recording. All in all, I'm going to give this drone, per manufacturer advertisement, I'm going to give it a 9. It's spot on. And then we're just going to give it a 7.5 until we get another camera on it. I get another camera on it, I'm going to be super happy with it. I'm J-Drone, guys. If you haven't checked out Drone Days on Facebook, please do. The link will be at the bottom. And if you haven't subscribed, again, please do. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.